Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new series called The Art of Flipping. In this series, I'm going to be flipping in the War Within, and the goal for the series is to reach 100 million gold, and we want to have that all in liquid gold. So let's go over some of the rules. The only way I can make gold is from flipping on the auction house. Flipping is where you buy items for cheap and you resell them for a higher price and you keep the profit in between. And to be more specific, we're going to be doing cross-realm flipping. This is where you buy an item on one realm for a low price and then you resell the item on another realm for a much higher price. This is the best way to do flipping in retail World of Warcraft. Now that the War Bank has came out, this is a feature that allows you to move items across from one realm to another on the same BattleNet account. So you can actually have, say, WoW account 1 and WoW account 2, and you can actually move items across multiple different accounts and also different realms. So I've recently reset all my TSM data for this series. So if we go ahead and have a look, we can see that I have brand new data. I just reset it a few days ago while setting everything up. So this is all fresh data. Now on WoW account 1, we have 26.1 million gold over our multiple characters. We also have around another 2 mil on our second account, but I will show you that a bit more later on in the series. All of the tactics and methods I'm going to be doing in the series, you can find them in my flipping guide, which is an ebook which teaches you how to flip in retail World of Warcraft. It also gives you my TSM groups, my point blank sniper groups, plus an in-depth guide on how to do flipping. I also have a 6-hour video training course, which is a course that you can also buy, and we're going to be using the methods out of that. Now, if you want to check both of those things out, they are linked down below in the description box, plus a few other resources for when it comes to flipping in retail World of Warcraft. Now, let's get into the setup that I'm going to be using for this series. So, first of all, like I mentioned, I have two different WoW accounts. I have WoW account 1 and WoW account 2. I have characters on every single possible realm on the US region. So we are going to be doing this on the US. And also, on top of that, I have every single realm auction house. So basically how the auction houses work, there are some realms that are on a cluster and they share the same auction house. So you only need one character on each of those clusters. I'll show you my spreadsheet a bit later so you can see exactly where my characters are, what account they're on, and also which realm out of each cluster they are on. So we have two different accounts to do this. On our main account, so WoW 1, we have the War Within, but this isn't actually needed for what we're doing. You can actually see on WoW account 2, we do not have the War Within on this, and we can also still do all the flipping on this second account. So this is WoW account 1. If we go ahead and have a look at the realm list, you can see we have all of these different realms. We have one character on. For Oceanic, we have all these. Frost realm is the realm that I play on normally, and this is my main account. So we have 11 characters on here, but obviously only one of them are actually flipping characters. We have these realms right here, and we also have the Brazilian realms. Let's go ahead and I'll show you the setup on WoW account 2. This is WoW account 2. As you can see, we have a bunch of characters also on this account. We go ahead and look at the realms. And this is obviously the account that doesn't have the War Within. As you can see, we got a bunch of characters on this also. This is the characters over on WoW account 1. We have a bunch on this one right here. We actually have more characters on this one than on WoW account 2. I believe we have around 60 flipping characters on WoW account 1. Now, another important thing are obviously the add-ons that I'm using for flipping. So we are using TSM, which is Trade Skill Master. I do have the premium version. This is just so I can use a few extra features. Now, if you want to get a discount on the premium version of TSM, I will have a link for that down below in the description box. And if you use my link, you can save 10% on your subscription with TSM. Obviously, it's not required to have the premium version, but there are a few extra perks that you get by having the premium version. So for the other add-ons, we obviously have Auctionator, and Point Blank Sniper. So these are the other 2 add-ons that I highly recommend using when you're doing flipping, and obviously also TSM. So with these 3 different add-ons, this is everything you're going to need to do cross-round flipping in the War Within at the best ability. Also, for the setup, another thing that is important is having your Warband bank. So to access the Warband bank, you can talk to any banker in the game. And then if you go ahead over to the Warband bank, right to this tab right here, you can see this is the Warband bank. And yes, I have all 5 tabs. You have to pay for these tabs, and they do get fairly expensive. I believe the last tab is like 2.5 million. So I do have all of these, and this comes in handy, having a lot more basically space, so I can buy a bunch of items, put them in my Warband bank, and then spread them out across multiple different realms. While we're going over my setup for my flipping series, basically I also am going to be using this spreadsheet. And this is a spreadsheet that I've used, and I've made it public. Anyone else can use this. Basically what you do is you make your own copy of this spreadsheet, and you can do what I've done. I've basically filled out all of my WoW accounts, and also the exact realm out of each cluster that I have my characters set up on. So what I can do when I'm using this, if I click on my keyboard, Control F, it brings up a search, and when I'm using other tools to find good deals, it will tell me which realm these deals are on. I can write the realm name in right here, and this will automatically show me on the chart basically exactly which account it is on. So this is in this tab, and also the realm out of the cluster that I have my character set up on. And this just saves a little bit of time every single time I'm buying an item, but in the long run this is going to save me hours and hours of time. So these are all the ones with the clusters, and then obviously here are your single realms. And so for the single realms, I just have which WoW account they're on, so I can know exactly where to log into to buy items when using tools for cross-round flipping. They give you deals when looking for items. So here's an example how the search works. Say for an example, I just found a deal on Frostmourne on one of the tools. I can go ahead and paste this in here. So just by Control V, and this will go ahead and it will light up the line. So we'll have the cluster of the realms. As you can see, Frostmourne's in here, and it will tell me exactly what account it's on. So WoW account 1, and also out of the cluster, I have my character set up on Frostmourne, so I can just go ahead and I can log straight into Frostmourne. Now, if you are using my link to get this yourself, basically this is what it will look like. It will have the NA realms and all the lists, and it will also have the EU. So whichever one that you're using this for, you can delete the other one. Now, to be able to actually edit this spreadsheet, you do need to make a copy of this yourself. So you can just go ahead, make a copy, and then you can go ahead and you can use this yourself. So you can see you just make a copy, and then you can actually go ahead and put in your account and also the realm in these columns right here. Next up, we're going to talk about the tools that I'm going to be using to find items to buy. So the first tool and the main tool that I'm going to be using is a paid tool, and this is called Flipping Power. Now this is a tool that I've made in partner with Script, and this will be $20 per month, and this will be the main tool that I'm going to be using for cross-round flipping. I'm going to show you a few free versions, and I'm also going to show you methods of how to find the items in game if you don't want to use a tool like Flipping Power. But how Flipping Power works is that you have a bunch of different filters. And first of all, what you can do is you can actually select which realms you want to get data for. So for an example, you can have buying realms and selling realms. Obviously, I have characters set up on every single different auction house, so I have all realms selected. But if you're just getting started with flipping, obviously you can just select, maybe you just want to be doing this on 5 realms. Or if you just want to be selling on, say, the top 10 high populated realms that are going to sell the item the quickest, you can go ahead and you can select them, and then you can select a whole heap of different buy realms. Say for an example, you want to buy from every single realm, but you just want to sell on some selected realms. To access the tool, you are going to need a subscription, which is $20 per month. Once you've got that, you can click on Access Tool, and this will basically load up the tool. Now that you're in the tool, there's a whole heap of things that you can do. But basically what this is doing, because I have every single realm selected, is that it's collecting data across every single realm on the US region, and it's going to only show me the best deals that meet the criteria that we put in right here. So we have a bunch of filters. We can go category if we just want to do, say, recipes. We also have quality, all the different qualities. We have expansion if you just want to sort from expansion to expansion. Say you just want to focus on the war within stuff, you can go ahead, you can do that. Or if you select none, it will be every single expansion in the game. But the main things that are most important are going to be these filters right here. We can actually sort by sell rate. Now there's no other way to do this except flipping power, which is one of the best things about this tool, is that you can filter out on the sell rate. So the sell rate is basically how quickly the item will sell. The higher this is, the better. So for an example, if I just want to have the best selling items that sell extremely quickly, I can go ahead and I can sort this from sell rate. You also can click on sell rate right here, and it's going to show you the quickest selling items all the way down to the less quick selling items. So this is a great feature to use. Obviously, if we just want to see like the quickest selling items from Classic or from like Burning Crusade, we can go ahead and we can do that. So this filter is very, very useful. By default, you can set it to 0.001, which is the lowest sell rate, or you can bump it up to whatever you like. Now, next, let's go ahead and set this back to normal. The next filter is going to be the sale average. So this is the sale average price that the item has sold for on average over the past 60 days on your region. So this is going to be this column right here. You can also sort this from highest to lowest. So this will show the big boy items at the top. We got like the crowd pummeler, just really, really big items that are worth a lot, that are still meet the other criteria and are worth flipping. So you can play around with this also with the filter. If you want, you can go ahead and move this around. Say you want to just see items that have a sale rate over 50,000 gold and all the deals for them. You can go ahead and do that, and this will give you all of these deals. Now, how the columns work, let's actually go ahead and, for an example, let's do Cataclysm. We've got a bunch of items right here for Cataclysm. We've got Mob. Basically, we've got all the different expansions. But basically, what I'm getting at is you can sort this from the highest sell rate, or like have a minimum sell rate of, say, whatever you want, from 1,000 gold all the way up to 50,000 gold. Then there's going to be these four other columns that are very, very useful. So you have the sale average versus the buy price. So this is going to be the buy price over in this column. It will give the buy price, and it will also give you the realm to buy this off. If it's a cluster, you go ahead and you can see all the realms in the cluster right here. So this is going to be the sale average of the item versus the buy price, and then it'll give you a percent. You can sort this from highest to lowest. If we go ahead and select none, so it's every single expansion in the game, we can go ahead and sort this from highest to lowest, and this is going to give us some of the best possible deals that are up on the auction house at the moment versus the buy price versus the sale average. We also have the sell versus buy. So this is in this column right here. It will tell you the best possible round to sell the specific item on that you can get the most amount of gold for. And it will also tell you the exact amount of gold that you can post this for on these specific realms. And then obviously this is the sale price / the realm, and this is the buy price / the realm to actually buy the item on. So this is a very good tool. You do not need this, but this is going to save you a lot of time, because with the other methods, you have to know the items, you have to search them yourself. With this, it will help you find items that you've never thought about flipping before, and it makes the whole process a lot easier. Now this updates once per hour, and it's going off the Blizzard API. So every hour there's going to be new deals that I can go ahead and buy, and then I can go ahead and resell them. The next tool that I'm going to be using, and this is a free version, and this is Undermine Exchange. Now this isn't as good as flipping power in my personal opinion, because you have to know the exact items that you want to search up, and obviously you have to go through them one by one, which can take a lot of time to find some good deals. But this is a free version if you want to go ahead and use this. Basically, for an example, certain items that you want to search up, you can go ahead and search them right here. So for an example, we want to check out the Tibu Blazing Longswords. We can go ahead and we can write that in right here. Once we've write that in, we can go ahead and click on it. Also, this is going to show all of the different item level variants. If we go to settings and we go to ignore variants, we can just see the base item. Then we can click on this and we can see that the cheapest possible realm at the moment is 190,000 gold. We can scroll down to the bottom here, and this will show all the different realms. So we can see on Ragnaros, for an example, we can pick this up for 190,000 gold, which it's a decent price, but not a crazy deal. So what I would have to do if I want to keep finding items is I'd go ahead and I'd write in a different item up in the search bar, and then I'd check that, and I'd keep going through a bunch of different really good items that are worth flipping. Now this obviously does take some time, but you can find some great deals for free using this tool for cross-realm flipping. Now they're the two tools that I would use outside of in-game. Now when it comes to in-game, the first tool that I would use is obviously TSM. So if you have any of my flipping guides, so if you have like my flipping guide ebook for retail or my 6-hour long flipping video training course, you will have my groups for TSM, which you can import by clicking on this right here. You paste in the string, and then you'll go ahead and you'll have all of my groups which is set up for flipping in the War Within. Now you can use these groups and you can search for items in them, and I'm going to show you how that works. While we're looking at this already though, I might as well show you. I have the operations, so these will actually sell the items for prices that are profitable no matter what. So we'll keep track of how much you paid for an item, and it will only resell them at a profitable price. So once you import this, you'll also obviously get my operations, which will basically do all the hard work for you and basically figure out the best price to sell each item for. I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video, and actually the process of selling the items and moving the items around. But the main thing we're focused on right now are the groups. So let's go ahead and head out here, and we'll jump on the auction house, and I'll show you how I would use TSM in game to find items. Now TSM is great. The only downside of this is that it is round specific. Because we're cross realm flipping, we're better off getting data for every single realm across the region. And with TSM, you cannot do that in game. You can only see your specific realm that you are on at the time of basically doing the TSM searches. So you want to go to browse, and from browse you can select specific groups. I have a bunch set up. So we have a whole heap for the War Within. We've got War Within cosmetics, recipes. We've got Dragonflight, some BOEs, recipes. Basically we've got all the best items in the game to go ahead and flip on the auction house. And I've got them all sorted out in very nice groups. So you can select a group. Say we want to do the best transmogs, we can go ahead and then we can click on run shopping scan. Now one thing that I would recommend people doing is going into the operations, going down to shopping, going to flipping guide and shopping. So at the moment it's going to go off the market value, which is the specific average price over the past 14 days the items have been posted for. Now a better metric to use, because we're going to be moving these items across multiple different realms, we don't care too much about the market on this one specific realm. We more care about the market across the whole region, so all the realms on our region. So what we can do is we can change this to DB. So DB region sale average. And now what this will do, when we go ahead and actually search the items, it's going to show them using that metric. And basically what that is the average price the items have sold for over the past 60 days across all the realms on our region. So now when we go ahead and select a group, say we want to do the best transmog group right here, we go ahead, select it. We can select multiple if we wanted to. Then we click on run shopping scan. And this is going to bring up this column right here. It will go through all of the items in the group, and it will give you a percent on the side right here. Now what we've just done is we've changed this percent from going off the market value, which is once again the average price over the past 40 days on this specific realm. We've changed it to the region sale average. So that means the average price across all the different realms on our region over the past 60 days that item has actually sold for. So with this percent, when I'm doing TSM shopping scans like this, anything that's under like 50% is definitely worth looking at. There's a few other criteria I like to look into before buying them. I don't just look and say, well, this one's under 50%, I'm going to buy it. We also want to look at the region sale rate, and this is basically a number that tells you how quickly an item sells. And this item has a 0.029, which is actually a very, very good sell rate, and we should be able to sell this off very quickly. So we can double click, well, we can click on this arrow and it'll bring down all the different listings on this realm. There's actually 3 of them posted, all for 555 gold. So this is actually a good deal that we could go ahead and we could buy all of these out at 555 gold, and we could repost them for a lot more. By default, what my operation will do if there's no competition is we'll post it for 6,717 gold. So let's actually go ahead and buy these out. We're using the TSM macro right here, where you can either click whatever you keybind it to. I have it set up to the scroll wheel up and down. And so if I just scroll my mouse wheel up and down, it will go ahead and buy the items. Let's go ahead and click reload. But as you can see, we brought all 3 of these. Now we can repost them. Now with the operations, we're only going to be posting 1 on this realm if it meets the criteria of my operations. So we only are basically posting 1 of each item on 1 realm. Anything that is left over, we're going to move that over to a different realm. So we can spread out the items across all the different realms. This way we have a lot more chances of actually selling the 3 items. Instead of posting all 3 of them on 1 realm, we can spread all 3 of them across 3 different realms. So we can go ahead and click on post. We have 2 left over. So what we do with the 2 left over is we simply go ahead and throw them in the Warband bank. So we open this up. To actually get this window, you do /TSM bank UI. Bank UI has no spaces, and this will bring up this window. You go to auctioning, make sure you have all of the groups selected, and then you want to put them into the Warband bank by clicking move to Warband bank. Now to get items out, you want to click on post cap to bags, and this will remove 1 of every single item to your bags. This makes the whole process a lot easier instead of manually having to do it. So that is how I would go ahead and use TSM when I'm using TSM. Now a good time to use TSM, and when I personally will be using it, is say I've got 20 minutes that I have to go do something IRL, or I'm watching a movie or something like that. What I do is I select a whole heap of different groups. Say I want to check out all of the different transmogs, see what the best deals are on this realm. This is going to scan 8,060 items. So this is going to take a while. So while this is scanning, I can be doing something else. I can come back, I can have a look, go ahead and buy the best deals. And that's mainly how I'm going to be using TSM. Now, the fourth method of how I'm going to be buying items is going to be with point blank sniper. So this is a sniping tool. You are going to need Auctionator for this, and then you also need Auctionator groups. So these are called shopping lists in Auctionator. So you can make these groups like this. If you have, once again, if you have my flipping guide or my 6-hour flipping training course, you will have the import for these. So you just click on import and you paste in the string right here, click on import, and you'll have my specific groups. You can obviously make the groups yourself by clicking on new list and then adding the items one by one. Now this is point blank sniper. So let's go ahead and pause this for a second and I'll explain how this works. Basically, this will do a scan a lot quicker than TSM, and it scans live. So if you have the scan running and someone actually posts an item, it will go ahead and pop that up in live time. Where if you're doing a TSM scan, if the items gets posted after you've started doing the scan, it won't actually show up the items. So what you can do with this is you can leave it running, and whenever you see something pop up, you can go ahead and buy it. So for an example, we can select which groups you want right here. So we want to do, let's just say the battle pets and companions. We can go ahead, select that group right here. For the price source, once again, because we're doing cross round flipping, we want to be using DB region sale average. We can click on that. Now we can add the percent we want to see. Say if we want to see everything that is under 50% of the region sale average, we can go ahead, select that. You want to be using blank. This is the best one. And then you click on start. And basically what this will do is it will start going through the group. Let's just pause it for a second. But anything that is under 50% of the region sale average, it's going to pop up right here. So for an example, this could be a good deal right here. It's got a really good sell rate. The region sale average is 1,131 gold. We can go ahead and buy this right here and then resell this. Now another thing that you can do with this tool is you can click on Blizzard buy UI to see if there's more of them posted. which there's a few more, but they're posted for a bit more expensive. So we're just going to buy the one for 500 gold. And now what we would do with this, because we can't really post it on this round because the next highest is 750 gold. So it won't actually meet our criteria for our TSM. We can go ahead, grab this, and then throw this in the Warband Bank. And then we'll move this over to another round where it's a much higher price we can get for it than 750 gold. So a very, very easy way to do this. And actually Point Blank Sniper can get you some really, really good snipes. For example, if you want to get really picky with it, let's go ahead and select a big group like transmogs, all the different transmog weapons. If we select this down to 20% of the regions are average and click on start, this is going to show items that are the best possible deals on the market. It won't show any others. Obviously some of them will be cheap that are in the group, but as percent wise, these are really, really good deals. So for an example, the region sale average on this item is 1,567 gold, and we can buy it for only 249 gold. Obviously, because I have so much gold, I don't really mess around with these little items that you can flip and make like a couple thousand gold profit. I prefer to focus on big items that I can make like 50,000 gold per flip, things like that. But this is how you can do it. You can leave this running. Anything that pops up, you can go ahead and buy them. Next up, I want to show you the process of me actually selling the items and moving them on. So this is what I do on every single round, once every 2 days. I go ahead, anything that has expired, I go ahead and remove that from the mailbox. So we'll go ahead and grab these. Obviously, these are just a few things that have expired very soon. I think we already have more items on this round that just haven't expired yet. Let's just check. A few more on here. Basically, what you want to do is you want to click on auctioning, make sure all the groups are selected, and then you click on run post scan. We're going to go ahead, let the TSM operation do its thing. Now, as you can see, there's a few that say cheapest auction below min. This is perfectly fine, because what we're going to do with those is put them in the Warband Bank, and we're going to move them to a round that we can post them above the minimum price. We go ahead, use the TSM macro, and we just spam the scroll wheel on our mouse up and down, and this will post the items very quickly. Now once the items are posted, what we do with the leftover ones, now the only reason they should be leftover ones is if there's more than one of the item that you're posting, because it only posts one of each item on each round, or if it doesn't meet the minimum price profit that we want to get from the items. We head over to the Warband Bank, we open it up. We want to make sure this window is up, so TSM Bank UI, make sure all the groups are selected, and then we move these to the bank. As you can see, they go very quickly. Now we log out of this round, and we simply move on down to the next round. We log in, and we rinse and repeat that process. But what we're going to do first, before we get the items out of the mailbox, we're going to grab one of each of the items out of the Warband Bank. This way, we're basically spreading the items out across a whole heap of different rounds. So let's go ahead. First thing we want to do, head over to the Warband Bank, grab out one of each item. So to do that, you click on this button right here, post cap 2 bags. This will go ahead and grab out one of each item. As you can see, there was 2 helmets that were the same, and it's going to leave one in the Warband Bank, just so we have one of each item. Now we can go ahead, jump on our Bruto, or we can just head to the auction house. We've got a few things right here that have expired, so we can get out all of the expired items, just like this. Once we get all of the items that have expired, we can go ahead, post them up on this auction house, and then anything that is left over, we obviously put that into the Warband Bank, and we move that on to the next round. And I rinse and repeat that process for all of the different rounds that I have characters set up on the NA region. It's very, very simple. Now it takes me around an hour to an hour and a half to go through absolutely every single different auction house in the game doing this process. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we're starting off this series with, like how much gold, how many items, how much value in items we have on the auction houses. So let's go ahead and check out the spreadsheet. Alright, so this is a spreadsheet, and this is how we're going to be starting off the series. Now how this spreadsheet works is we have a column for all of the different realms that we have characters set up on, as you can see right here. So we have a total of Well, I think it's a bit less than 88 because we have a few columns used up. So 84 different realms that we have characters set up on. We have a column for the current gold. We have a column for all the sales. We have a column for the gold spent. We have a column for the profit percent, items posted, and also the total posted worth on each auction house. So this is where we're starting off. As you can see, for the current gold, we're starting off the series with 28,460,000 gold. We have a total of 3,687 items posted across all of the different realms, with a total worth posted on the auction house of 387 million gold. So this is where we're starting off the series. Now what I'm going to be doing is in about a week from now, a week or two, we'll see if we're doing it every week or every two. We'll do an updated version of this spreadsheet and we'll go ahead and we'll see how many sales we've made, how much gold we've spent, the profit, and also just how the numbers are actually going. But looking at this to start off with, you can see that we do have a decent amount of gold, but the quickest way to reach our goal of 100 million gold is definitely not just having this gold sitting in our bags. The goal with this 28 million is definitely to reinvest this to more items to flip, because the higher we can get the total worth up on these auction houses, the quicker we're going to reach that 100 million gold. Obviously we have 387 million gold worth posted on the auction house, but this will take time to sell. So the quickest way we're going to reach that 100 million liquid gold in our bags is from bumping this number up quite a bit. So that is the goal at the moment. And obviously we'll want a lot more items posted than 3,687. So the quickest way we're going to reach the goal is by spending a decent amount of this gold into more items that we can go ahead and resell for a lot more profit. But we can go ahead and have a look. Obviously, this is my main realm that I play on Frostmourne. We have 4.2 million on here, but we can scroll down and we can see, so the green column is total worth on the auction house. This one obviously is the posted items, and this is our current gold that we have. So we can scroll down and have a look through some of these realms and to see some of the numbers, so we can compare them in a week from now and see how much progress we've actually made in the first week of this series. So that is it for episode number 1. I was basically just showing you the setup of everything that we're going to be using in this series and telling you how this series is going to work. Now I'll have links to all the different resources for flipping that I spoke about in this video. So all my different courses, guides on how to do flipping. Also I'll have a link down there for Flipping Power if you want to check that tool out yourself. However, if you have enjoyed this video and you think that you're going to enjoy this series, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and also let me know down in the comments that you are going to enjoy this series. Because depending on how well it goes, we might even go for a bigger goal over 100 million gold. After we've obviously reached that 100 million gold, if people are still enjoying it, we obviously can bump it up to maybe 500 million or even go for 1 billion gold just from flipping on the auction house. So be sure to hit the thumbs up on the video and also subscribe for the next episode. Till next one guys, take care.